just Hey everyone, today I want to talk about eye primers. I don't normally use them, find that they get waxy on the lid. So I wanted to see if mine was a misconception from years ago that I'm still sticking with, even though time has changed and products have changed. And one thing I have learned as a working artist is that your needs change as your skill improves. So after years of doing makeup, you find that things that didn't work when you were younger is because you didn't have the knowledge and understanding of why it would work and stuff like that. So one of the reasons I don't like eye primer is it tends to be sticky and get creasing and stuff like that from my experience. But everyone swears that it doesn't. And I'm like, am I doing something wrong? So I figured I would give it a shot and play with it a little more. Because normally I just use a little bit of moisture on the lid from concealer and buff it mostly off because concealer does melt and can, get waxy. Lids tend to be pretty oily as is and a little more of a slick, surface, especially as the day goes on. So if you're not careful, you do get creasing. I do long wear makeup, so it's very important that my clients don't get any creasing on their lid. And I found that the way I do it with the concealer and stuff like that, they don't get creasing and their makeup does last all day long. And we can use this pigments and everything else. And I found no need for an additional product of eye primer. However, I keep watching all of these videos and all these and talking to all these other artists, and they swear by eye primer. So I think it's time that I readdress and revisit the subject of eye primer, my toolkit basically, and see if maybe I just was using it wrong. And if it is going to make my life a little better, then why not use it? Because I'm all for the right tools. Sometimes a lot of products out there are overkill, um, and not necessary, and it's just for the money grab. But eye primer is one of those things that pros use. It's not just a retail product. So that being said, I am going to try it out with my eyeshadow and wear it and see if it actually works better or worse than concealer. If there's an improvement, I will switch over to eye primer. If there isn't, I'm not going to spend the extra money. And that's just how I feel about that. So let's see what happens now. So today I'm going to be trying Pero Primero Primer. It's a longwear sticky pigment base. This is for loose pigments and stuff. I'm not sure if this is going to be a good example of eye primer because this one has a lot of beeswax and oils and shea butter and stuff like that. And personally, those things melt. So how's that gonna, wear all day? That's my thought. But I'm gonna give it a shot and see if I like this. All right, got my hair out of the way. So we're going to use the color corrector slash concealer on this eye to work as an eye prime. That's to hold my product. And then on the other, I'm going to go ahead and try this primer and see what we think and see if it's even worth it. And so I'm going to take my concealer brush and apply that. Okay, it goes on pretty moist and then it gets pretty sticky. So that's what's gonna make the colors really stick to it is that waxy stickiness. It's got beeswax and stuff in it. So this side I have the primer, eye primer, and this side I have the concealer. So the concealer, I'm gonna go ahead and buff excess product off with this one. And there's not really any excess on that one. And I'm going to go ahead and move into my eyeshadow. And I'm going to just lay down a nice matte brow color. So already I am seeing a nice difference between the way the colors catch between the primer and the concealer. So that's kind of nice. I'm excited. This may be a good thing. All right, next thing I'm going to be going into the palette from Michael Kors. I'm going to take the brighter purple and lay this down as a base across my whole lid. All right, I have the color down. Again, the primer is grabbing a little more on this side, so that's nice. Taking a blending brush, and I'm going to take this purple that I laid down, I'm going to work that up into my crease a little. So the pigment or the primer holds the color more, but it makes blending much harder. It leaves more, so you see more patchiness, whereas this has a little more of a softer, more even blend. So I probably wouldn't use this one for on the whole eye. I would probably not put it on the brow bone. I'm sorry, I'd probably not put it in the crease because for blending, unless I went over and set my whole lid with powder and then blended it, and that's just like extra work. But it doesn't really, it's not open for blending. Blending is much better on the concealer eye. I'm not super impressed. So until next time, you guys, see you later.